Hi, my name is Josh Millsaps. I'd like to talk a little bit today about examforschools.com and our mission to create safer, higher performing schools. Um, One of the things that we believe very strongly in is that high performing schools come from an ability to focus in on many different factors. It's not any one thing that makes a particular school high performing. I think, as a father, one of the things that I believe very strongly in is that, when I kiss my daughter on the forehead on the way out the door in the morning, I fully expect to get her back in the evening. So obviously safety and security, I believe that's sort of job one. And of course, I want her to know her ABCs, I want her to know her multiplication tables, all of those other factors are important as well. And so I think intuitively we can understand that there are all of these different factors. And so what we've done with our application is to focus in on some of those. And one thing to keep in mind is that for ExAM, the E is for extensible. We can add data sets into this. We can add to what comes out of the box. Out of the box, we talk about criminal influence, academic performance, demographics, safety and security, and situational awareness. And those help us answer some of the core questions that we want to be able to answer about a school in order to understand it better. So, we want to know, are our students exceeding expectations? What is it that makes our schools who we are? How dangerous is our school's neighborhood? Are we doing the best we can to prevent incidents? How well do we know what is going on our school today? Those are all questions that we ought to be able to answer at any given point as parents, teachers, administrators, even students. And to do that, we draw on many different areas of compliance guidance, whether it's things from NASRO, CPTED concepts. There are a whole bunch of places that we draw on to help develop this information. So we also want to be able to do it not just for that specific school, but we want to be able to answer those questions at the district level, at the state level, and across the entire country, and to be able to communicate and collaborate across all of those. It's one thing to understand that information about your specific school, but understanding that another school has a similar issue and how they're dealing with it informs what you do. And so if you want to have this continuous improvement cycle, you need to be able to have that communication, and you need to be able to work to assess, find gaps, and improve as events are happening. I think that's one of the key things about having that communication and collaboration and workflow capability is that life happens while you're trying to improve. So often we look at assessments as we're going to assess something this year, we'll come back next year and see how we did, but I don't believe that that is how we actually want to operate if we want to achieve a high level of performance within any particular school, and particularly across a district schools or a state schools or the country schools. You have to be able to take into account the things that are happening at a given point in time. So if we do an assessment and we find that there's a problem with fencing or CCTV, or there's not enough lighting, and we see a spike in incidents within a specific school or within a specific group of schools, we can use those incidents to inform the judgments that we make about that assessment. We can look and vice versa. We can use that assessment to go, hey, maybe the reason that these incidents are occurring is because the likelihood that people are going to get caught when they perpetrate these things is so low. And so you're able to look at that information in a new light because you're combining planning with operations. And I think it's such a powerful combination. So, and then again, it's the ability to put all of that in the context of these broader portfolios. So again, it's schools, districts, state, and the nation as a whole. And as you look at the application that we've developed, it's the power of that communication, collaboration, and ability to execute within each school and across these broader groupings of schools that makes us able to affect change. So if you look at the 23 states where we've delivered this approach and You start to think about the benefit that we could get as a nation if we undertook this in a more substantive manner. I think it's really important. And it's important because this is the path to the future for education specifically, but in a lot of industries and areas of public work, because the past, the way that we did assessments and the way that we looked to manage performance previously is time consuming. It's difficult to aggregate information. You've got a lot of things that live in paper reports, in desks. There's no ability to create apples to apples comparisons. One of the first things that customers of ours begin to understand is the power of asking the same questions, the right questions, the ability to say, we know across the board the answer to this specific question at every school in our district, at every school in our region. And the power that gives you to do analysis it's amazing. It enables you to hone in on specific areas and go, this is where our problem lies. And we can deliver that in an incredibly user-friendly way at a cost that would never have been possible previously because we deliver it on top of the Force.com platform. For those of you that don't know, Force.com has 104,000 customers, over 1,700 in the education space alone. 400 million transactions per day are performed on it. There are 185,000 custom applications that have been developed. It's low risk, it's low cost, and it's available everywhere. I think that's the other power of this, as we've moved into an era where 85% of the American population has a smartphone. You need to be able to do business and understand things anywhere that you're at a given moment. That's the expectation, and that's what we deliver. And if you think about, particularly in the safety and security arena, you need to be able to have information at your fingertips, because the difference between a tragedy avoided and a tragedy that occurs could be what information do I have when I really need it. And that's the key to this. It's having the right information at the right time to make the right decision. And it's just it's an incredibly powerful thing. So I invite everyone to come take a look at examforschools.com. There are a lot of other videos like this where we explain the assessment process, how this can benefit schools, how to use the tool, and invite you to please give us a call, talk to one of us about what we can do to help support your educational initiatives, because safer schools to a large degree are about understanding, and we can help you gain that understanding.